Agent Samuel Gator Crook, Strategic Homeland Division, Personal Field Log. Location: Brooklyn Airfield to Washington, D.C., White House. Date: January 18th. Time: 1900 hours. I woke up to a boot nudging my foot. Didn't come out of it easy either. Took me a second to remember where I was. Rise and shine, soldier. I blinked up to see a military guy standing over me. Not full kit, more like off-duty gear, but the posture gave him away. "What time is it?" I asked, rubbing my eyes. 1900. Your wheel's up." I sat up quick. Had I really slept that long? Didn't waste time asking more questions. Grabbed my pack, checked my rifle, made sure the watch was still glowing. Then I headed out toward the tarmac. The cold air hit different this time. Sharper. Like the day had moved on without me. Sitting out there waiting was a civilian helicopter, blades already spinning, kicking up dust and loose debris across the strip. Didn't look military. Didn't look official. Just functional. Like everything else here. I jogged up and climbed inside. 3 other agents already seated, headsets on, strapped in. Nobody said much. Didn't need to. That orange glow on each of our wrists said enough. I buckled in and slipped the headset over my ears. For the first time in a long while, I felt nervous, and in my experience, that ain't always a bad thing. It means you're paying attention. The pilot's voice crackled through the headset. "We'll be flying over Brooklyn, crossing into D.C. along the river, landing at the White House. You'll receive further instructions on site. Short, professional, no room for questions." The helicopter lifted off smooth, rising above the airstrip. Brooklyn spread out beneath us. Even from the air, it didn't look right. Too still. Too quiet. One of the agents across from me leaned forward slightly. "First time in D.C.?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. He nodded. "Don't expect it to look like the postcards." Another agent chuckled dry. "Postcards don't survive the end of the world." That got a small smirk out of me. "Guess I'll keep expectations low." "Smart man," the first one said. The flight dragged on longer than I expected. Nothing but the steady chop of the blades and the hum of the engine. Time kinda stretched out. Hard to tell how long we'd been in the air. Then, the skyline came into view. Washington, D.C. I leaned toward the window. Recognized a few landmarks right away. The Washington Monument stood tall in the distance. But even from up here you could see the wear. Darkened stone. Scaffolding in places. Like someone had tried to fix it and ran out of time. The Lincoln Memorial sat quiet along the water. Empty. No crowds. No movement. Just history. Left behind. Down below, I started hearing it. At first faint, then clearer. Sporadic gunfire. Single shots. Bursts. Echoing between buildings. But I couldn't see where it was coming from. Just flashes of movement in streets too far below. The agent next to me glanced down. "Welcome to D.C." Then I saw it. The White House. I'd seen it 100 times before. TV, books, pictures. But this wasn't the same place. The building was still standing, but it had changed. Surrounded by 2 layers of fencing, outer perimeter looked reinforced. Inner one, probably electrified. Guard towers, barricades, sandbags. To the right side was a raised landing platform. That's where we were heading. The pilot's voice came through again. "Hold on. Coming in." The helicopter dipped lower. Wind kicked up across the compound. Dust and debris swirling as we approached the pad. Then, thunk. Landing gear hit. "Good luck, agents," the pilot said. "Godspeed." We unstrapped and stepped out one by one. Soon as my boots hit the ground, the weight of it all settled in. The White House. And not as a symbol. As a last stand. Before we could even get our bearings, the helicopter lifted back up behind us. Didn't wait. Didn't linger. Just gone. Probably off to pick up the next group. I stood there for a second, looking at the building, at the defenses, at the people moving with purpose around it. Back home, this place meant government, power, control. Out here, it meant survival. And I was a long way from Arkansas. A soldier in what looked like off-duty gear walked up and waved us forward. "Let's move," he said. "Inside." I adjusted my pack and followed the group toward the entrance. Didn't look back. No point. Whatever came next was waiting on the other side of those doors. The soldier didn't slow down once we stepped inside.